Welcome to class. Please grab a block or some kind of prop, and you can actually just sit on it. Feel free to sit cross-legged like me, or have your legs stretched straight out in front if that's more comfortable. Get really comfy, get really relaxed. With a nice tall spine, bring your hands together and interlace your fingers so that you're making a fist. And now I invite you to lightly tap that fist across the chest from side to side. The tapping could be a little more vigorous, a little more powerful, or a little bit softer. It's totally up to you. Just help to stimulate the front of your chest. And keep tapping with me. And let's take a big inhale. And say, ah, out the mouth. Ah. Again, big inhale. Let it out. Perhaps another one if you wish. Just going to spend a fair bit of time connecting to areas that feel constricted in your body today, and just trusting that there's wisdom in those contracted places. As you slow down the tapping, one palm on your upper chest, other palm on your low belly. And take an inhale into your belly, keep inhaling up to your chest, and a nice long breath out your mouth. You can just imagine your hands are in those spots if you prefer. Do that again. Inhale, belly, inhale up to chest, and a slow breath out. Just symbolizing to your body, if your palms are there, that you're here for your body. You're ready to touch in, you're ready to feel in, and just connect to that wisest self. To free open any areas that feel tense or stuck or painful. To find freedom and connect to your wisest self. Thank you, body. I'm here and I'm ready. I'm ready to expand beyond the contraction. To always come back to space and expansion. One more big breath. And gently release your hands down. Move slowly. Come to lie down on your back. And on your back, extend both legs straight down on the floor and reach your arms back behind you. Remembering this is a practice of slowness in spa yoga. We're very intentional, and you can always modify intentionally and slowly any of the poses. Do what works for your body today. Once you're stretched back, just lace your hands back behind you and point and flex your feet a few times. Squeeze all the muscles in your body. Stretch out even longer. Deep breath. And now take right knee into chest and take your laced hands around your right shin. For knee sensitivities, it might be nice to lace your hands behind your right knee instead. Flex your feet. Press your shoulder blades down into the mat. With every exhale, hug your right thigh in a little closer. Just breathe softly for the areas that are speaking to you right now. They hold much wisdom. Reach your right leg straight up and clasp your hands behind your right hamstrings. Try to have your top leg as straight as you can and firmly push your leg into your hands so there's some resistance. Slowly circle your top ankle around in both directions, remembering these are all just options in this practice. Choose whatever option serves deep breathing for yourself, okay? Gently hug your inner thighs together. Couple more big breaths for your right hamstrings as you circle your top ankle slowly. Bend your right leg and place your right toes on the floor so that you can move your hips over to the right an inch. After you've moved your hips to the right, take your knee back into your chest, same knee, and twist your right knee all the way across to the left. Extend your right arm out to the right. I often like to climb the left hand on top of my outer right thigh. Do your best to keep your shoulder blades grounded. Slow breaths in and long exhales in and out of your nose if possible. Breathing through the nose helps to slow the breath down and helps to deactivate the fight or flight response when we breathe through the nose. Just do your best with that. Another big breath in this simple twist. Just be easy on your body here. Slowly untwist, come to center, and reach your arms back behind you. Lace your fingers with straight legs on the floor. Point and flex your feet a few times. Make it feel good. You could shimmy your arms side to side a bit if you like. Take your left knee in and interlace your hands around your left shin. And firm the back of your right leg strongly down into the mat while hugging left thigh in. Take mindful breaths through your nostrils. Fill your belly and your upper chest as you breathe. Stretch your left leg straight up now and clasp your hands behind your left hamstrings. Scissor your inner thighs closer towards one another. Really charge your leg into your hands. If your hands weren't there, your leg would swing down onto the floor. Option to circle your top ankle in both directions. Mindful of your breath and mindful of the narrative that plays on in your mind. Could you be curious about areas that are achy? Could you be curious about physical spots of pain? There's nothing wrong with contraction or pain. It just is, and it will change. Moving your hips to the left a little bit. Take your left knee in. Yeah, and scoot your hips to the left and twist your left knee all the way over to the right. Stretch your left arm out to the left. Anchor both shoulder blades down into the mat so that your chest is quite open and broad. Notice how your breath feels. And just notice what it's like to remain curious about this lovely body and all the wisdom it holds, rather than being caught up in old stories. Can you be here now, learning from your body? And slowly untwist. And one more time with legs straight on the floor and arms stretched back behind you, big stretch. And then take your laced hands around your shins as you bend knees into chest. Lengthen your tailbone down into the mat as much as you're hugging your thighs in a bit closer. And just see if you can send your breath down into your low lungs as though you could breathe down into your low back. Check in with your jaw muscles, big breath. Now set your feet down on the ground and walk your feet as wide apart as your mat. Tip both knees all the way over to the right, keeping your feet still spaced apart a fair bit, shins spaced apart. Reach your left arm either wide out to the left or reach your left arm back on the floor beside your left ear. Feel your inner left knee draw down towards the ground. And if you want a little more, you can climb your right ankle on top of your outer left knee. Just coax your left knee down. I have my right hand on top of my left ribs. That's a spot that needs just a little more tuning in for me. So you could have your hand on a spot for you, or just deep breaths into those areas. Those areas that have some good insight for you. Breathe and notice. Gently change sides. With your knees coming up and over to the left, your right arm can reach back a little bit. Perhaps left ankle on top of your outer right knee, just whichever variation you took on the other side. Can you catch yourself whenever you fall into habitual thinking or negative judgments? Deep breathing. May you stay open to the teachings here, right here within your body. Deep breath. Untwist and gather both knees in, setting up for happy baby. So option one is to have your hands on your kneecaps with your knees falling really wide open to the sides. Or you could go into full happy baby if you know that. Let's take a big inhale here and say, again, a big inhale. And relaxing tension in your neck. Ease yourself over to one side. Make your way up now onto your hands and your knees with me. Forearms down on the mat. Walk your knees back a few inches with your palms in prayer. And let your forehead come back and down behind your elbows onto the mat so that your hips are stacked over your knees. Perhaps you'd like to bend your arms like me with just elbows on the ground, prayer fingers pointed up, or you're welcome to keep your forearms down on the ground instead. Knit your front ribs up into your body, so rather than fully sinking your chest down, keep your navel hugging up. Just invite in a little more space and broadness into your mid-back. Big breaths. Gently come up onto all fours so that you can step your right foot outside your right hand. Stay low with your hands inside your front foot flat, front knee bent. And look forward and up as you inhale, and round as you exhale, tuck chin to chest. Again, inhale, chest forward. Exhale, round, puff your mid back up to the ceiling. Inhale, chest up, really sink into your front knee. Exhale, round. Continue a few more times. So it's absolutely for your hips. It's also to help open the channel of your spine, the front and the back of your spine, and all around your shoulders. Just knowing that when there's contraction somewhere, there is expansion and openness somewhere else, right? Everything is always working in opposition. Everything is always operating in balance. And the next time you bend your front leg, just stay there a little bit longer. And with your left hand down, reach your right arm way up to the sky like a big open twist. Exhale, circle your arm back and down. And again, inhale your arm forward and up. Exhale, take your arm out and down outside your front foot. Keep circling your right arm any amount that, the shoulder, the rotator cuff will allow for, so that there's ease, so that there's space into all the little stuck spots. More breath. Keep your right arm straight up next time it goes up. Lean back in this twist. And take both hands down inside your front foot and step your right knee back so that you're on all fours, so that you're on hands and knees. And on your hands and knees, sway your hips to one side and look over that shoulder to see your hips. And sway your hips to the other side and look over in the same direction the hips are going. Do that a couple of times. Any kind of breathing pattern that feels really freeing. And just gently step your left foot outside your left hand. And again, stay low with your hands inside your foot. I always like to come onto my fingertips. Lift your heart, inhale. And round and duck chin into chest. Next inhale, lift your chest, shoulders back. Next exhale, round, dome your back to the ceiling. Keep going like that with your own breath. I always find that if the body is stuck or it's been stuck for a while because of extra anxiety or stress, that mindfully moving this way, just gently moving and kind of massaging through some of those stuck spots with breath and with gentle movement can be really supportive. And then let's reach the left arm forward and up, just doing those big rotations with left arm. Exhale, take your arm out and down. Inhale, go way up and back. Exhaling out and down outside your foot. A few more. It's all about slowness. It's all about you and you remembering your capacity to return to balance and to remember that there's balance in everything. Within the dark, there's always light. There's always wisdom inside you. Yeah, keep your top arm straight up and lean back in this twist with your shoulder blades together on your back, your throat open. And set your hands down. Come onto hands and knees, onto all fours. And again, just sway your hips to one side. Look over that shoulder to see the hips. And then the other side. Couple more. A downward facing dog, not too long here with your hands gripping into the mat. Push down and forward with your hands and all your fingers. Pedal out your heels side to side. Lift your right leg up and step your right foot forward with your back knee down. Low lunge. Rise on up, reach your arms up. And interlace your fingers, make one fist overhead like we did on our backs earlier. Sway over to the right. Doesn't have to be a huge side bend. Nice. And then come up right again and bring your fist to your chest. Twist towards the right. So literally hook your left elbow outside your right knee and keep that fist. Or what I love to do is I cup the right hand on top of the fist. So the bottom hand is in a fist, top hand cups over top. Lift your chest up to your fist. Lift up off your front thigh. Every exhale helps you to turn and twist to the right. Be sure front knee is bent deeply and twist a little more. Take time to untwist and set your hands down inside your front foot. Wiggle your front foot over to the right an inch. Lizard pose. Perhaps it's good for you to stay up on your hands or grab a prop and put your elbows on top of your prop. Relax any tension in your neck and your jaw. Carve your right hip back a touch and enjoy a few big breaths. And slowly make your way onto your hands and your knees and into down dog pose. Maybe pedal out your heels slowly to each side for a sweet calf release. And float your left leg gently up and step your left foot forward with your back kneecap down. Low lunge pose. As you rise up, lace your fingers so you've got that fist up above your head and sway over to the left for a little side bend. One big breath. And come back up, right? Take your fist down in front of your heart center. Angle yourself forward and with your navel hugging in, twist towards your left. Hook your right elbow outside your left kneecap. Now your top palm, your left hand will be a cupping over top of the fist, the bottom hand. It'll give you some leverage to push into so that you can turn your belly button more to the left with every exhalation. Twist, twist. So it's from this contraction, from this type of twist, that we can actually find even more space in a second when we release. There's nothing inherently wrong with tension. There's nothing inherently wrong with binding ourselves into tight little spaces and places. It's all about breath and perspective. So we slowly find lizard pose with hands inside front foot on the mat, or maybe use a block or a cushion underneath your elbows. What if you could just breathe here and remember there's wisdom in every single cell of your body and every single muscle fiber. There's so much to listen to and breathe for within your body. Nothing is bad or wrong within. Good. Take time to rise up onto your hands and your knees. Child's pose, your hips back on your heels. Rest your forehead down. There are many ways you can use props in child's pose. If you know any, go for it. Use props. If your knees or your ankles are feeling sensitive, just don't have your hips as close to your heels. You can lift your bum a bit more. Let yourself grow incredibly heavy with your next exhale. As though you could kind of burrow yourself more deeply into the earth. Exhale and let it all go. The way that you identify with things, the way that you add meaning to things, let it go. All of it. All that matters is breath. Just go nice and slow to come up to sitting, okay? No hurry. Take time with legs stretched forward. And then bend your right knee into your chest and cross your right foot outside your left leg. Setting up for a seated twist, just a bit more twisting for your lovely spine today. Take your right fingertips behind you on the floor. And you can wrap your left arm around your right knee or hook your left elbow outside your knee. And lift up out of your low back. Come up forward on your sitting bones a bit more. Lift up your chest, and with your next exhale, turn your heart more towards the right. Feel your legs grounded, your sitting bones grounded, tall spine, and exhale, twist, twist. Inhale to untwist. Bring your fingers down to your left side for a little counter twist and round in. Bow down towards the left. And come back to center. Place your hands behind you. Now bend your left leg so your left foot is flat. So you're in a seated number 4 with right ankle over left thigh. Chest open, a tall spine gets you deeper into your right hip. You can remain just like this or find double pigeon. You can bend your left leg so left shin is down underneath your right shin. Perhaps fold in 10% or fold in 30%. Just remembering that these areas that feel really locked or constricted, they have so much wisdom for us, usually around gentleness and patience. There are a lot of lessons in the things that don't necessarily feel good. A lot of lessons. Gently release so that you can switch sides with me. Sit tall. We're going to start with the twist. Cross your left foot outside your right leg. Spider your left fingertips on the floor behind you. Right arm can wrap around your left knee or right elbow outside your left knee. Sit up as tall as you can. Roll your shoulders back and down. And inhale to sit even taller. And as you exhale, hug your front ribs in and twist. Feel that tightness, that drawing in around your core center, right? It's actually giving you more stability to find that contraction around your abdominals. Slowly untwist and take your fingertips over to the right for a little counter twist. Tuck your chin, bow down. Come to center. Park your hands on the floor behind you for that seated number 4, or seated kind of thread the needle. Lift up your chest. Work your left knee away from your left shoulder. Option to stay like this, or take double pigeon with your left shin on top of your right shin. Your feet flexed. Just notice how transformative the breath is for you. Breath helps us to be here in this moment and not caught up in the narrative of good or bad or right or wrong. Breath just keeps us here, brings us back again and again. And ease yourself up out of that hip opener and make your way to a seated position with me. I recommend sitting on a block. A nice tall spine. Squeeze your shoulders up to your ears. Inhale. Exhale, roll your shoulders back and down. Inhale, squeeze up. Maybe out your mouth. Exhale, the shoulders back and down. Again, inhale. Exhale, shoulders back and down. Again. Lean your head over to the right. Continue exhaling out your mouth if you feel like that release would serve you. And slowly bring your head to the other side. Right? Sometimes those notions of us wanting to resist the contractions, they just need a nice pathway out through breath. So thank yourself for being here, for all of it, for the tension and for the space, for the exhales and for the inhales. Thank yourself for being here for all of it. And for trusting that there's wisdom in all of it. Maybe a palm on your heart, other palm on your belly. Just get really quiet, get really relaxed. Breathe very softly. Notice what your body is saying to you. Maybe notice a new perspective towards blocks, towards pain. Maybe a softer self is here now. Feel free to remain in meditation for as long as you like. Invite in some gratitude towards your body and your breath. I thank you so much for practicing with me. Thank you for taking this time to explore our polarities. Remember that there's always balance. It's happening. It's here. Thank you for finding some of that balance with me. Take good care.